Felt amazing. I'm so grateful to be here, working with an awesome cast and a great theater company like Roundabout, and it's been pretty magical. Well, I always knew I wanted to do it. Ever since I could walk, I knew that I wanted to be an actor and a singer, and I was determined to find a way to make that happen. Well, I think a lot of people associate the role of Comrade Birdie with kind of a more older Elvis impersonation, and that wasn't really my vision with this role. I mean, I wanted to make my own unique rockabilly idol. So a lot of the riffs that I'm finding in the songs, those are influenced by African American artists from that era. And I definitely have watched my share of young Elvis videos because I'm a big fan. But I was also watching Little Richard and just really wanting to find my own sense of this role. And the funny thing is, I didn't know Bye Bye Birdie before I auditioned for it. So I just read the script like I was reading any other role. And so I've always loved this era. So I had a pretty specific vision of the role. I would say I'm definitely a loop-the-loop kind of guy. Well, when I finish the show, I'm usually starving, so I go out and eat. I got a couple spots around town. But sometimes when we've got a 2-show day, the next day, I just go home and watch some movies and try and get to bed early. Yes, I work with an excellent voice teacher named Eric Vitro. I had the privilege of starting to work with him when I did this movie for Columbia Records and Nickelodeon called Spectacular. And he was the vocal coach that our composer Matthew Gerard hired, and I've had the privilege of working with him ever since. He's been really great, and even during this whole process where I'm maintaining 8 shows a week, I just always want to keep improving my voice. So I try to work with him very regularly. When I first came in to audition for Birdie, I sang "Crazy Little Thing Called Love" by Queen. They had specifically said that they didn't want any Elvis songs, and I wasn't really planning on doing any anyhow. So "Crazy Little Thing Called Love" just felt like it still had a bit of an Elvis-y quality to it, but I also could find some new riffs with it. And so I came in and sang that, and then met with the director Bobby, and then after that I was asked to come back a few weeks later and sing for all of Roundabout Theater Company and Strauss and Adams. Well, funny enough, I had heard that they were going to be doing a movie of Bye Bye Birdie, and all these people around LA kept saying, "Oh, you should go in and you should meet on the movie," and I wasn't really familiar with the project. And then, funny enough, I went for a singing lesson at my singing coach Eric Vitro's house, and I mentioned it to him and said, I just heard that they're going to be doing Bye Bye Birdie on Broadway, and he said, "Well, I know because I'm coaching John Stamos for it," and so. From that, kind of, my manager had talked to the cast director about me or something, and I think he'd seen Spectacular, and so it all just kind of came together that this was like a really, really good possibility, and I've been dying to do a Broadway show for such a long time, and this really felt like the right opportunity to do it. Working with a young cast has been really great. The kids in the ensemble are just so full of energy, and they're all so quirky and unique, and they have all such like different amazing things that they bring to this, and they give me a ton to work off of. So it's been really awesome working with them. Funny enough, I never really idolized anybody growing up. When I was competing as a gymnast, I definitely had, gymnasts that were kicking ass at Worlds and the Olympics that I really looked up to. But, I'm more so like a music lover. I've got a lot of different artists that I love. I love Young Elvis. I love Otis Redding. I love Joy Division, like the T-shirt that I'm wearing. Fleetwood Mac. The Smiths. I mean, I definitely have a really wide array of music that I've grown up listening to, and but no personal idols, I would say. I love it. I love how we've got so many different kinds of people that come to the show. We've got tourists, we've got theater fans, we've got Nickelodeon fans. It's a blast, and I feel really, really lucky to be doing a show that has such a rockin' stage door. Oh, I'd love to play a poet. I'd love to play a painter. I want to play Romeo. I want to play cowboy. I want to, I'm really interested in character roles, so, doing like a lot of period pieces would be really interesting to me. Different accents, different walks of life, different tormented voices in their head. I'm just, I got so many roles that I want to play. Well, I would say for one, I definitely am a big fan of any of the movies that Elia Kazan directed. I think A Face in the Crowd is a terrific film and highly underrated. I love James Dean's work. I love James Dean's work in Rebel Without a Cause, A Place in the Sun. Montgomery Clift. Brando in Streetcar. Just that carnal animal that he was, but still with an elegance. I would say today, I love, obviously Daniel Day-Lewis and Meryl Streep, and I've been really moved by even some of Audrey Tauto's work. I would say Boxer Brief. I love New York City. I feel like it's so much more integrated with people that do things outside of the film industry. I mean, I love the climate of Los Angeles, and I think that there's a really, wonderful kind of healthy community of people to interact with there. But being in New York is just so exciting. I mean, I love that, like, I meet people walking down the street. I meet people that are painters and in the fashion industry, and I just love the variety here. And I love that I can, wake up from a nap and 20 minutes later be at an opening of an amazing show that I'm so lucky to even be getting to see on opening night. So I'm a huge fan of the city, and I'm happy to say that this is becoming more and more my home now. A lot of the discoveries that I had with this character happened more so during previews, and just sort of, not feeling like I'm stuck within like this rigid structure of blocking and steps that I've been given, but more so finding like the freedom and the relaxation and just bringing this character to life. So I would say there's not one specific moment, but I'm happy to say that I definitely had some really great people that I worked with to help me with the role, both with my singing and with my my development of this character. So there was definitely like a lot of performances where at the end of the day I would go like, okay, that was a really big step, and now here's what I want to do, and here's what I want to work on, and I'm always still discovering stuff. I'm always still learning more and more, and just having fun playing within this role. But I would say that definitely, like, a big part of it was just allowing myself to be kind of unadulterated and uninhibited within it, and not being afraid to be just to be as present and as carnal as the role has sort of given me permission to do. All right, Broadway world, it's been fun. I've had a blast answering your questions, and I'll see you next time.